Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your time traveling agent and master of musical mayhem and mirth, as this may be the case today. It is Friday, and we are going to review a musical, and it's a true musical with songs breaking out in the middle of nowhere for no apparent reason. Which, if you if you know the Muppets, you knew it was going to happen. But it's a very funny movie. It is the best Muppet movie that they've ever made, and we'll have some snippets of the 4 minute long trailer being played off and on, hopefully, if I remember, just because it would help. Because, it starts out this way, right?
For anyone who has ever dreamed of fame and fortune at the end of the rainbow.
So, yeah, I don't remember. It was a big deal when this movie was coming out in 1979, and it was one of the first one. I think we saw it that opening weekend. My brother and I believe um, Agent Charles was there. 1979, I would have been the oldest, of course. It was released in the U.S. on June 22nd, 1979. For anyone age 7 to 77 or something was one of the taglines. Everyone did that after Star Wars, but the budget was 8 million and it made 65.2 million at the box office. So it was a big, big success. The music's great. The acting's great. The guest stars are the cameos. They're not really even guest stars. And we'll talk about them as we go through it. But having said all that, before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the movie. Who's your favorite Muppet? Which one of these is your favorite song? I'd love to read them. And having said all that, let's rock and roll. Okay, we start out zooming into Worldwide Studios, which is a bit of a amalgam of both Paramount and Universal, but made up one completely. And who are the first Muppets we see, the first to arrive? But Statler and Waldorf. They're there to heckle the Muppet movie. So the Muppets are heckling the Muppet movie. They did use this framing device. It's a good way to get a bunch of extra Muppets in here because you couldn't feature them all. And, little Statler and Waldorf go a long way, but they're hilarious, as always, mean and curmudgeonly, but I like them. So they're there. They let them in, and everyone's there. Miss Piggy and Link Hogthrob and Doctor Strange Pork, I believe. And people, there's just a ton. In this, they've gotten so many more since 1979. Muppet Show I think the Muppet Show debuted in 76, 77, and it was the more grown up version. Obviously, a lot of them, Kermit especially, came from Sesame. And he's pretty much the only one that lives in both worlds. You don't see Grover in here. You don't see Cookie, Bert and Ernie. Although I think most of them guest starred on the Muppet Show at some point in time. But there's Bunsen Honeydew, Sam the Eagle, who wanted to know if the movie had any, uh, you know, sweeping great statements and was, virtuous. And Kermit's like, gee, I hope so. And then Sam gets jabbed with a paper airplane. So there's all of them at the moment. I don't know who the bird thing in the back is. Um, uh, I forget. One of the monsters took the chair the seat that Piggy had been saving for Kermit. Now, if you know anything about their interesting relationship, we find out what happened here. There's Gonzo and his girlfriend Camilla, and there's another dog that's not Rolf. Oh, no, that's not Rolf. I remember where Rolf is. The Electric Mayhem. Statler and Waldorf are in the back. Oh, and so is Rolf. So there are some characters that just get a couple lines, like Mad Harry. And then we begin with the movie. Robin is Kermit's nephew, who says, "Is this how the Muppets began?" And Kermit said, it's an approximately how it happened. So, but there's a lot of fourth wall breaking in here. Like, they know there's an audience watching, and it's just really well done. I can't tell you how good it is. See, this was written by Jerry Jewell and Jack Burns. The music is by Paul Williams and Kenneth Archer. I think it got nominated, a couple of them, and it should, because you hear, that opening theme song, The Rainbow Connection. Everybody loves it, and they should, because it's great.
This is one of the greatest success stories of all time, proving once and for all that anyone can make it, no matter how young, no matter how green. The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Yeah. James Frawley is both uh, the director of the movie and made an appearance in the movie, as did Frank Oz, aside from voicing Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Animal, Sam the Eagle, and Marvin Suggs. I don't know which one Marvin Suggs is, so go figure. Let's see. I thought that said what he played, but I don't know. Be that as it may, let's go along. Let's get along here. There we hear Kermit singing and his reflection. It's a beautifully shot movie. I mean, there are beautiful, beautiful shots in here. This version is allegedly the extended one. I mean, the UK version ran 97 minutes. The US version ran 95. I don't know what I've been watching for years. I have the DVD. I did get this copy from the Internet Archive just because it's easier to get pictures from and do this too. Um, because that's Dom DeLuise as Bernie. He's from Hollywood, and I really wanted to put a. I mean, Andy Kaufman would have been in this movie. I'm sure he would have loved it. Um, let's see. He's named after Bernie Burlstein, talent agent and producer of the original Muppet Show. Let's see when that did debut. Let me clicky here. 1976. I was right because we'd watch it and then 1999. But he tells Kermit he should be go to Hollywood and become rich and famous. So off he goes on his bicycle. Now this was something to see because we all knew, even by 14, we knew they were puppets or Muppets, marionette puppets, if you will. But they did some really innovative stuff. Henson was in underwater the whole time while he was, getting waterlogged while he was doing the piece in the swamp. But here's our villain here, Doc Hopper. Doc Hopper. French fried frog legs. I've never eaten frog. I don't know that I could. It seems like it'd be a lot of effort, high effort, low reward. But they're making a road. Uh-oh. Frog. So we knew this got a big laugh out of the audience. Gone with the Schwinn. I don't know if kids would know what it references to then. Even then, Gone with the Wind was 40 years old. Now it's close to 80. Gee, many Christmas. Yeah, 80. No, 90. Because it's the same age as my sainted mother. Don't tell her I said that. So Kermit doesn't have a bike anymore. How's he getting from wherever he is, whatever swamp he's in? We don't know. The state's never defined. You think it's one of the southern ones since it had an alligator in it, but you never hear. El Slizo Cafe. Here's the owner. That would be James Coburn as El Slizo Cafe owner. He just got thrown out of his own bar. There is Madeline Kahn as a patron who wants Kermit to buy her a drink. And apparently she's the same personality she used for Lily Von Stupp in Blazing Saddles. That's Telly Savalas right next to her, who tells her not to go wash her hands after touching a frog because she'll get warts. And Kermit says, no, that's a myth, a myth. And lo and behold, yes. And that is Carol Kane. And we'll talk about her in a little bit. So, and there is Paul Williams himself. I want to say maybe right around the same time as Phantom of the Paradise, a movie I'd really like to see again. But he's Don't Shoot the Piano Player. And he introduces one Fozzie Bear to tell you jokes both old and rare. And then he does a step dance. Kermit says that guy's really lost up there. And the guy behind him who uh, didn't, that looks like Stephen, what's his name, doesn't it? There's a shake behind him. Good grief, good grief. It's a running gag. So even Kermit quotes Charlie Brown. He tells the audience, he looks at the audience for that. Excellent. But Kermit gets up there and they do a little dance number, which they think saves him. But then Doc Hopper and his assistant, let's see, That's Doc Hopper as James. No, James Frawley, the director, is the waiter as a waiter at El Ciso Cafe. That is Charles Durning as Doc Hopper, who played these sort of kind of sleazy guys. It's The Sting, Confessions, Tootsie, Dick Tracy. I've seen some of those. And Austin Pendleton as Max. So that's Max behind him in the green hat. And he's hilarious. Both of them are really good. Hopper's just sleazy and slimy and greedy. And Max is semi-greedy, but he comes around. Everyone's seen this, right? There's no spoilers. I can't spoil the Muppet movie, hopefully. And if you haven't seen it, go see it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's available on Disney Plus. So the patrons attack the our two heroes and throw Kermit up there. He lands in the in the piano, and there's Frank Oz right there throwing Fozzie, throwing himself around. Really, drinks on the house works every time. Off they go in his uncle's Studebaker. But Doc Hopper offers him a job, give him $50 a year to be a spokesperson. And look at that, gee, many Christmas. Look at all these old TVs. Got a clicker in his hand, but off they go. Kermit refuses, and Fozzie's like, "Does it have to be a frog?" Fozzie. Yeah, now we get our second song, "Moving Right Along," which is super fun and just two buddies, brand new buddies, having a good time singing in a Studebaker, which apparently never needed any gas. So I don't know, but look at this shot here, and that one, and turn right at the fork, turn left at the fork in the road. I don't believe that. I don't know why Kermit wouldn't believe it. He's a talking frog with a driving talking bear, driving a Studebaker. Send someone to find us. We're in Saskatchewan. Oh, how's it going? Hey, it's the Mountie. Man, that is one. I mean, they probably have. It's probably a shell over another, a running engine. But and then they see this guy headed to New York to break into public television, and that is the cameo of Big Bird, played by Carol Spinney. I want to say that's his. Let's see, where are we there? Blah blah blah. Oh, I guess Carol Spinney's listed under Muppet Performer, so as Big Bird. But off he goes. Good luck. And now they're in. Should it be snowing? No, I don't think so. But now Doc Hopper has just gone ahead and used Kermit's likeness. Nowadays, Kermit would just sue his ass. Jeez, and all Kermit says, all I can think about is thousands of frogs with crutches. Kermit, it's nice you think they'd have crutches. And off they go. And he says, "Don't you frogs puff up? That's a myth. A myth." Yes. And she's not a myth or a miss. She's a wife of Miracle Max. That's his wife, Carol Kane, under there. And they're kind of lost, but they got to a church who's got a Reverend Hare Krishna, and that's the last of the Hare Krishna gags and last of the myth gags. So they didn't run through the entire show. But guess who's at the church? Yeah, they hear the fantabulous sounds of the electric mayhem. They introduce each other. Zoot skipped a groove. His sax is his axe. Yeah, Animal does, show him what you do, Animal. Eat drum. And their Scooter, their manager. Now this has changed because he's the owner of the Muppet Theaters. He's the nephew of the owner of the Muppet Theater. That was a lot of ofs. Once again, Fozzie starts telling him what's going on. He's like, "Oh yeah." So they give him the script. They just have the script with them. Why didn't they read ahead to know what was going to happen? But the bear and the frog are out of commission, so they think up a good way to disguise the Studebaker. And we get the next song, "Can You Picture That?" which is very psychedelic. And Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem were, 10 years out of time, but their music still rocks. And there they are singing, and Kermit's not sure why they should thank him for disguising the car until Doc Hopper and Max show up and chase him, and they pull in front of this conveniently placed blast off super light pop off. Not even sure what that is. And then they drive on by. And guess who they run into next? It is the great Gonzo, plumbing artiste, the prince of plumbers. Although he talks about his plunger a lot. I think he should have been the prince of plungers. And they run into him. Oh, we missed. You call that a miss? I do know a lot of the I've watched this movie a lot. So there they are. And Gonzo is jumping up and down because he's hopping mad. Gonzo's very literal. A lot of the Muppets are very literal. Kermit's the straight man, surrounded by the lunatics, of course. But I love that line. I do say a lot of lines. He picked up a weirdo. And there they move into Madman Mooney, played by Orson Welles, who has just as the sleaziest, and also has Sweetums as his Jack. Jack not named, Jack Job. But he squishes a bug, and they get the trade in for $11.95 and get a new car, which I don't know what that one is. Oh, it's a Woody, I believe. That the surfers used so they could put everyone in it. And Kermit says, "Why don't you come to Hollywood with him?" And Sweetums runs away, so they leave. But he's running now. He's chasing them. I just gotta catch up to those guys. And look, that is Elliot Gould. That's Ross and Monica's father, but that's also uncredited. What is her name there? No, come on, Milton Berle, Carol Kane, Elliot Gould. Oh, come on, it was right there. I swear. Oh, special guest star. She's not listed, but um, she was. Promise. But that's Ralphie's mom from A Christmas Story. It's just fitting that I don't remember her name since she never gets named in A Christmas Story, right? But she doesn't even have a line. She's just uncredited. Um, I can't. I was really. I thought they had it up there, but I'm annoyed now that that's just not right there. So um, Elliot there is the compere who announces the winner of the Bogan County beauty pageant, Miss Bogan County. And there's our judges who are playing themselves, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. And that was both of their final appearance as Bergen's last film. So, of course, Charlie has been retired as well. And the movie is dedicated to them. And Charlie's like, "You'll never believe who's the winner, folks." And he's like, "It's their movie." I've seen a couple of their movies from way back when, and I don't remember them very well. I remember laughing, but my mother had known them because they'd been on, radio. So anyway, let's get over here. There's the winner. Our first time we see Miss Piggy, and Kermit's a little smitten. Miss Piggy sees Kermit, and she's a little smitten. And then they go into Never Before and Never Again, which is not my favorite song, but it does have a shot that looks vaguely familiar to me. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, and for the rest of my life, I'll remember what movie that is from. And then they get, after the montage, she ends up, she's hugging Kermit to a rather ample bosom. And, Melinda Dillon. She's not listed in the cast, but she's in the cast for Wikipedia. I think she'd be a guest star. Look who's giving, and there's Bob Hope as the ice cream man, and Richard Pryor as the balloon. And Kermit has invited Miss Piggy to get some ice cream, which is a dragonfly swirl and a honey ice cream, honey for the bear and dragonfly ripple for the frog. But she thinks she meant come to Hollywood with us because she's, But Gonzo has picked up too many balloons because the girls go gaga over balloons, and off he goes. And another chase scene. And of course, the villains get splatted with a pie. And Gonzo takes a 100-foot belly flop onto the hood of the car. And then Sweetums shows up. I just gotta catch up to those guys, scaring the beauty contestants. She wants to find a place to have dinner. Where are they getting the money for all this? I mean, but it's romantic. It's there. They get close. And here's waiter Steve Martin as obnoxious waiter. I think that's what he's credited as there. Insolent waiter. It should be. It's champagne. It's for 95 cents. Could we have straws? I expected that. And then, are you Miss Piggy? Phone call. It's her agent. So she leaves him and leaves him. Nothing. Well, Kermit thinks she just left. So he goes to the bar, and there's Ralph. Ralph the dog. Kermit the frog. They break into. I hope that something better comes along, which is really one of the another. Oh yeah, it'll be in the poll here on if you're listening or watching to this on Spotify. Let's see. Something better comes along. There's an instrumental, and oh, this isn't in the right direction. Okay, so it's not often you see a guy that green have the blues that bad. But Piggy hasn't deserted Kermit. Doc Hopper's got him. Got her. Are you the guys I'm supposed to meet? It's just funny. And it's sweet and it's there's you think that you've got interspecies romance going on here, but and there is our mad scientist that would be the great Mel Brooks as Professor Cressman. Oh, and I have not even played any more of this.
It was dangerous, but never dull. Filled with unshakable friendship.
So yeah, that commercial's form. Oh, here's if you want to hear a snippet of it.
A gorgeous pig.
It is a funny sequence. It's just the song. So anyway, that is Mel Brooks as Professor Crossman, who is a mad scientist from Germany. And when a German scientist tells you to hold on to your hat, you hold on to your hat. And that's his he's going to give Kermit a cerebrectomy. And so he'll just take out his brains and he'll do anything Hopper says. Kermit is not a brave frog. Fortunately, he gets Kermit in there, but he tells Miss Piggy won't recognize her from kosher bacon, which sets her off. And remember how me telling you how hard it is to get action shots from Blu-rays or DVDs? It's just as hard with Muppets. She just beats the crap out of them. I mean, the stuffing jumps on him and knocks our mad scientist in there and scrambles his brains. And then her agent calls. How to get her number? They don't have cell phones, do they? Right? And she takes the call. How much? It's for. It says bye. So she leaves. Now we have a cut in the movie because the film broke. The film is. And guess who's up there in the projection room? Vert de Ferk. It's the Swedish chef. But he fixes it rapidly. Robin's having a great time, and he doesn't care what anyone else says. Say, oh my gosh, we may have to stop this for a moment because actually we're close to being done here. The theme is Okie Doke. And patriotism swells in the heart of the American bear. Fozzie sings America the Beautiful. And that is not Snake Plissken, but Snake Walker, who's played by the. Oh, let's get up here. He doesn't have a highlight. It's Scott Walker, Snake Walker. All right. And what he does is kill frogs. Apparently, Piggy's audition didn't go well. And frankly, Miss Piggy, I don't give a hoot. But they cut into the radio station with the CB, so go figure. And they're still going to Hollywood, but car breaks down. Gonzo says somebody will come along, but then it's night. He thinks the stars are beautiful. He sings his song, which is going to be I'm going to go back there someday, which is very sweet and very sentimental. Kermit has a heart-to-heart with himself about who he actually promised to go to Hollywood. And then the band shows up because they've still got the script, knew exactly where they were. Not too meta. Uh, Piggy says, "Whisper sweet nothing is to me," and he says, "Motorcycle cop." Oh dear. And Doc says, "Look, it's the man with the badge, the fuzz, the police, the PI." And Piggy stops him. Don't even, wouldn't dream of it. But it's Max warning him. But Kermit says, "Time for a showdown because I can't be running from a bully my whole life." And he's right because bullies won't give up, will they? They will not ever. Oh, we'll get this on here in the showdown. So they find a ghost town. Obviously, there's a dead horse, and Animal goes out. Floyd takes Animal out for a walk. We meet Bunsen and Beaker. They're working on their new Instagrow pills. That's a 4-foot prune. Ugh. Uh-oh, it's high noon. Kermit goes walking out there, and then finally he yells at Doc and says, "What is wrong with you?" Kind of give us away.
Where did my friends go? What I'm saying doesn't make any sense to you? Well then, go ahead and kill me.
All right, boys. Kill him.
So, fortunately, Animal has eaten all the Instagrow pills and is giant. And as Bunsen says, unfortunately, the effect is only temporary because now they're on their way to Hollywood. The bad guys scamper, and there's Cloris Leachman as Sir. Oh wait, let's get back over here. As Sir Lou, as Miss Tracy, Lou Lord's secretary. Lou Lord is head of Worldwide Pictures, and they go in, and it's the brain. I mean Orson Welles. Yes, but says Miss Tracy gets a standard rich and famous contract for Kermit and his friends. Dun dun dun. So then we get the next and final song, the finale, the Magic Store, which we get through a lot. Here's just the funny thing where Benson wants a sound check. Someone give me a level, and Animal yells in there, and as Ralph tells everyone to remain in focus. And then once again the balloons come into play. Gonzo crashes in, and that's the end. And then we have the denouement where Sweetums shows up. I caught up to you. So I think Sam is a little upset, but there's just more. And one of them's asleep. And before what's his guts did it in the movie in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Animal did it first. Muppets did it. Muppets did it.
The Muppet Movie, starring Charles Durning and Austin Pendleton. Special guest stars Edgar Bergen.
We're not going through all those. So there's the dedication, and that is our review for today. We are bumping right up to about 25 minutes, a little longer than I'd have planned, but it's a great movie. It's hard not to talk about it. Everyone's talked about it. So, my fellow agents, you'll see the trailer at the end, this 4-minute trailer. Sorry about that. And I'm not. It'll tell you everything you need to know, make you want to watch the movie. And until tomorrow, where we are swapping once again, it will be Shaolin Sunday, because tomorrow is International Dinosaur Day, and we're going to celebrate a dinosaur movie. One of my second favorite dinosaur movie. So until then, until our next assignment, this is X7, signing off and phasing out.
For anyone who has ever dreamed of fame and fortune at the end of the rainbow, this is one of the greatest success stories of all time, proving once and for all that anyone can make it, no matter how young, no matter how green.
The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La, da, da.
All it took was a dream.
Hollywood. You sing, you tell jokes, you can make millions of people happy.
Millions of people happy.
The road was long,
Waka, 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 waka.
but never lonely. It was dangerous, but never dull. Filled with unshakable friendship.
Come with us to Hollywood.
When you get rich and famous, maybe we'll show up and exploit your wealth.
Unforgettable faces.
I just gotta catch up with those guys.
And unexpected romance.
Never before.
She was a temperamental beauty,
So freely
an unmarried woman, and a gorgeous pig.
Piggy! Miss Piggy! Are you Miss Piggy?
Yes.
Telephone.
Should it be snowing?
No, I don't think so. Moving right along.
Today is your lucky day. The price on the stick is the price you pay. Never more, never less.
We'll take that one.
Yeah. Footloose and fancy free.
Getting there is half the fun. Come share it with me.
From tender love
Whisper sweet nothings into my ear.
to sweet regret.
She just walked out on me.
Stay away from women. That's my motto.
But I can't.
Neither can I. That's my trouble.
Hi, I'm Doc Hopper. Inviting you to hop on down and get some Hopper's French fried frog legs.
Don't you want to be rich and famous?
Not working for you, I don't.
From adversity to adventure.
A pig that goes bananas? What is this, a luau?
He never parted with his dream,
Hollywood.
or his friends, or his legs.
And I think if you look in your heart, you'll find you really want to let me and my friends go. What I'm saying doesn't make any sense to you? Well then, go ahead and kill me.
All right, boys. Kill him.
The Muppet Movie, starring Charles Durning and Austin Pendleton. Special guest stars Edgar Bergen, Milton Berle, Mel Brooks, James Coburn, Dom DeLuise, Elliot Gould, Bob Hope,
Coffee, peach fudge.
Madeline Kahn,
Buy me a drink?
Carol Kane, Cloris Leachman, Steve Martin,
Yes.
Richard Pryor, Telly Savalas,
Get what?
Paul Williams, and Orson Welles.
I may not be one of your fancy Hollywood frogs, but I deserve a chance.
Life's like a movie. Write your own.
At the end of the rainbow, where dreams come true, Puppet becomes Muppet, and Earth becomes Mirth. And people who aren't people are the funniest people in the world. The Muppet Movie. It's more entertainment than was ever humanly possible.
Hey, I hear this movie is dynamite.